Well, you've told us that you love the week of Webisodes, so we have a hunky-dory one for you. And I'm delighted that we're beginning with the Floral Fantasia because it has such a beautiful look.
Oh yeah, beautiful floral artwork and lots of great projects like floral spinner cards. We have trellis baskets, a notelet box, and easel cards, plus lots more.
I'm really proud you remembered all of those. And as you said, just so much more. And Scrapbookers, we've got a special surprise for you. Come play with us. Now, as I said, this is Floral Fantasia, and I just want to show you how thick this little puppy is.
Look at that.
Yeah, not bad.
Yeah, that's one of the thicker kits for sure.
And we're going to go through to show you, but this front sheet is showing some of the specialty things, and we'll show you physical samples. And on the back, there are instructions for those 4 types you were talking about. So that's there. Now, this set has 2 different finishes, which I think is interesting.
It does. It has this beautiful embossed glitter finish. The glitter doesn't come off, and it's just beautiful. It's so shiny.
Yes, and the die cuts, as you can see, just pop right out. And as you said, the artwork is just stunning.
Right. Lots of different kinds of flowers and florals and beautiful colors.
Right, and all of these that I'm showing you right now are with the glitter finish.
Right, and these are the card toppers, so you can use these in lots of different ways. You can make so many cards out of this kit. I didn't even stop to count.
Yes, right. And this also are the little toppers, so that you can put these on the toppers and make like a paper towel design.
Paper towel, so you can get a little bit of texture, a little bit of depth. Oh, I love this one.
Isn't that gorgeous? And this is going into the foil, and we've got silver as well as gold foiling. So just such a variety in this one. It's very nice.
You've got birds there. You've got the flowers with birds. It's just beautiful.
Just beautiful.
Lots of different shapes, some scalloped edging there.
Now this series is going to show the spinners, and we'll show you some examples, but you're going to get 4 of them.
Right,
so,
and each sheet makes 1 spinner.
Okay, good to know. So in the 4 colors. And then and then you also get envelopes to fit those. And this is the trellis basket. Looks interesting, doesn't it?
And 1 sheet makes that whole basket.
Okay, and you're going to get 4 of those.
Different
as you
colors.
Can see. I like the little heart too.
Isn't that cute?
Very nice. And let's see.
Some of this satin ribbon that goes through the tag on top of the piece that pulls out of the basket. So that goes with the baskets.
And this is here because there are boxes that will hold those little baskets, because the baskets are 3-dimensional, right? Okay. Then this is going to do the notelet box,
The notelet
right?
box. It's really unique, neat box. You need 2 sheets. So this makes this kit, there is just 1 notelet box, but it's a pretty substantial piece. So.
Even a little piece of Velcro to hold it closed.
It's necessary.
And then these are the little cards.
The little notelets.
Right, the little notelets that fit inside.
They're already scored. You just scored fold. You can decorate the front or you can leave them plain. There
really
are.
Sweet.
Aren't those great? Great little.
Better if they're right side up.
How many are there? 1,
Looks
2,
like 8.
3, 4, I think 6.
6? Okay.
Yep.
4, 5,
6 notelets, which
6
come
envelopes.
with the little envelopes that fit the notelets. All this goes in the box. And these are the small card toppers that fit right on front of those notelets.
Neato. Pretty art. I guess we mentioned that.
That was a really neat idea. So you get this box full of note cards.
Now, easel cards you mentioned, and each sheet makes 1?
Makes 1 easel card. It's got everything you need. It's got more than 1 different kind of sentiment, so you can change out sentiments on those.
So in peach, in blue, in pink.
I love the little holes. You pop out those little die cut holes, and you have like a lace edge.
Okay,
really
and
sweet.
Yellow is the last color, as I suspected. And there are little gift boxes for those. So that's nice.
Because those also are a little bit thick.
Yeah, and then we go into the adorable Scoreable, which we have foiled as well as unfoiled.
And it's that heavyweight cardstock that scores so nicely.
That they're so well known for.
Beautiful. Lots of variety, lots of different ways to use those.
Now that's for for foil. Now we have 4 that are glittered, and again, it doesn't rub off.
And you don't need to use these with those projects that we showed you. Those
you don't? You can do something
use
else
these for other cards.
My goodness.
Amazing.
You heard it here first. Isn't that pretty? I love how it shimmers.
I love the hollyhock.
Now this is another of the glitter. Then we have some that are printed. So these don't have the foiling, but are lovely nevertheless. So just want you to
Beautiful.
be able to see every single piece.
Right, there are ghosted images, fields of flowers, bows that are printed on. These are all the printed now that we're into 8 of the printed.
Right. Very lovely.
Just beautiful.
Okay, now let's get into the projects.
Let's do that.
Scoop everything away. We're going to start with the floral spinner, and aptly named, so you can see it's just spinning like so. And it also sits up like this, so that's why it took one sheet. And as it's standing up, that little piece will spin. Now this is paper told on top. You can see that those pieces are foiled, are foam taped.
And there is twine. A piece of twine was placed in this. That does not come with the kit, so you'll have to supply your own. You could use fishing line too if you want it.
Right.
But I have the pieces popped out. I'd kind of like to show you. So from the one sheet, you get these 4 frames. And in the middle of each of these frames, there was some artwork, some die cuts. And I have to show you what was in there so I can show you what you're going to use. This was one of the panels. We're going to use that. And this was one of the panels. And I popped out the center panels from these 2, and I stacked them on top of here, paper towel style, with foam tape. So this one is ready to go. These are going to end up being, if I can pick it up.
Back to back?
Yeah, can't pick it up.
Here. There you go.
They're going to be back to back within those frames, and I'll show you that. So all of these pieces, and there are these little silver frames, they're not used for this. You can find other uses. Maybe frame some pictures with those.
Yeah, nice.
On a scrapbook page.
Okay.
So those.
So you
go
just
off to
end
the
up
side.
using these.
You just end up using these, and I have a piece of twine here, any kind or baker's twine.
You could use embroidery floss.
Sure, that will work too.
Yeah.
So on each of these, they are already pre-scored down the center. Okay, so they're ready to fold. And on one of them, I'm going to turn it over till I find it. I put Ultra Tape. I like to use Ultra Tape when I'm putting these constructions together. It's just nice and strong and sturdy, and it holds it. I put that right along the top here and here. Now I'm going to take one of these. I'm going to take the flat one that I have here. I'm going to place it in the center of that frame. I'm going to center it. I'm going to make sure when I'm doing this that it's right side up.
And that one has a message on it too.
Right. One side has a message, the other has that pretty picture. And then I'm going to take the twine and lay it right down the center.
And you're stretching it above where you have the Ultra Tape.
Right, above. But I want to put it right on the center, and then I want to stick it on. Then I'm going to, I want to hide the ends of those, so I'm going to grab my scissors and cut the end off down here. A little bit longer than the frame because I like to bend the end over and have it be captured inside the construction of it.
That's a smart idea.
Yeah, you don't want to see it sticking out.
No.
So it's like that. And then I have, which I didn't sort of grab. I usually put a double-sided tape here, which I don't have sitting here.
You want more Ultra Tape?
I can use Ultra Tape. I was going to do it quick with my little tape runner, but I don't have it. And then you're going to place this side right there to capture it. So you're going to do that, and that's going to stick on. Now, the tricky part is the edges.
Okay.
Okay, now I have my stick, my red tape runner. And this is, you can use Ultra Tape like I was talking about, and normally I would, but just in the efforts of time, I'm going to do this. You just put a little bit of it on each side here. And I'll line it up again. And I'm going to put a little bit on the tape too, so that it will stay right in the center.
Depending on how thick your tape is, you may even want
to do. Well, the Ultra Tape will make it stay in place for sure. I'm just trying to do this quickly. You try to line those edges up and stick that on. So now you've got the center in place. Now you have to start putting the sides on. Now it's not going to go one piece on top like this. It's actually going to go, first let me put some tape down, here and here. You do line them up. I'm going to start on the left.
But you're actually going to create an X, aren't you?
That's right. I'm going to line it up and I'm going to fold it over. So I have another one on this side. And it's a good idea to get it tacky kind of around the top too.
Can't hurt.
No. Then I line up the right side And take your time and line it up nicely. I'm going to do this quickly, so if you don't see it lined up perfectly, trying to do it quick. There. Now they're both folded over this way, and you have one last piece. Tape on all 4 areas. Do use more tape than I'm using. Make sure you put it up around the top too. And then you lay that flat, and you just lay this one right on top of it. Like so.
Easy.
Easy peasy.
Easy peasy.
If you take your time, line it up, it really does look perfect. And there is the spinner. And if I had taped it better right in the center,
Right.
it would hold better. But there it is.
So very neat. Now, what does that one say? Let's see.
This one says, with love and best wishes on your special day. And it really does spin in the center.
And this one is to someone very special. Have a fantastic day. And it too spins. So very fun. Of course, you can add jewel dazzles because, why not? But it's just a really... And it's a really neat card, but what I appreciate, it's easy to do, it's a great look, and it's a nice surprise when someone opens it up. So we're going to move on.
Hey, can I mention that when you put it in their package, you might spin this a little bit, twist it up, just not too much, but just a little bit, and then when they take it out, it'll spin.
That's fun. Good. Okay. Now we're going to go, you've got that over there?
Yep.
Okay. This is the little trellis basket, and it's very clever. This, as you can see, it is evacuated there and on that front part.
Right.
It is a 3-dimensional little basket.
Pretty simple to put together.
Yeah, and it has this really interestingly shaped tag, and this also has the glitter finish.
Right, and
then
it's got the pieces that were popped out, paper towel style, and foam taped on top
There's
of
that
there.
little heart, and just stringing some of the ribbon, and the ribbon's included.
Right. It also comes with little tags that you can decorate it with, and different sentiments on those little tags.
With love, and then some more on the top of your basket if you choose. And you're going to show us that one?
I am going to show you. So here are the pieces that get popped out. There are a couple of little pieces here that might look a little strange. And there are 2 of these basket handles. Here's one, and here is hiding from me on the left here. Here's the other one. So we're going to start with this piece. And you're going to, let's see, this piece. Oh no, I was going to show you this piece first. So you have this piece popped out. Turn it this way. You want the inside of the back to look like this.
Certainly you want it covered.
Through that window. So we're going to start by using my my stick and just sort of stick that in place real quickly. This is not it's not really important to put too much tape on this one. It's going to stay there. It's not going anywhere. So just line it up, pop it in. Now you have that in place. So the edges, these tabs, they are scored. So you can go ahead and fold those. Wherever it's scored, go ahead and pre-fold those to make sure that everything is going to bend right where you want it to.
Fold everything in. You're making mountain folds.
Everything in, correct.
All over.
From this side, I'm making mountain folds, right? So mountains out of molehills. And then when it's put together, it's going to go, the front lattice part is going to slide on top of the back tab.
Okay.
Okay, so I have ultra tape on that back tab, and I just pull that off and place, here's the front part, the lattice, that tab is going over the back tab. Line up the edges and press it, and there.
And this is what I appreciate. They're well engineered, and they've done a great job not only with the art and the foiling, but with the execution of all of these.
Okay, the front is going over the back tab. I have ultra tape on there, and press it in place. So now I have the actual basket shape. From there on, it's pretty simple. You can just tape one on the back side of this front, so you can hide the handles. You tape one handle there, and you tape one handle onto the back right there. So you just, and then you have the 2 handles. But the other part that I want to show you is on the back. There are these 2 pieces which are intended for the easel portion of it. And this is done. You want to place these back to get back. So start like this. Really look at that. You want to start with this little cutout on the left, and this little punched cutout is going to be on the right. You're going to only put the tape on this part because that's the only part that you want to cover up anything else. So I'm going to go ahead and put just some tape on there, and I would use Ultra Tape for all of the things that you're seeing here because it just holds so much better, but I'm doing this quickly. Now I take this piece and lay it up. See that it fits perfectly on there. Line up the edges as best I can here. There. And now it has a tab here. I'm going to pull this down here and pull this tab over. Well, actually, first you do this. This pushes through, and you see that tab there. This is the tab that I'm going to place tape on. And I'm going to try not to put it on that little cutout die cut piece that you see there. I'm going to put the tape above and below that. And then on the back of the card, on the bottom edge, with this angle coming down this way, I put that right on the back of the card, line up this strip on the center of it. Then when this gets pulled out, it's taped on there, and this little die cut piece here gets pulled down into place and it locks it.
So it stabilizes it.
Right. So that's a lock, a little locking mechanism.
That's just nice.
Right. The Ultra Tape
Yeah.
would stay on the ribbon. That's a little bit.
Excellent.
There we go. When you're all done, then you put some ribbon on the top of this, and that just fits into that basket.
Right. Perfect.
And you'll have taped those handles on as well.
And that's an example of the pink. Here is the
Right.
yellow. So you get, again, there are 4 of them.
Right.
And the little box that will hold it, let's see, I'm missing that.
No, these, it's a longer box.
Yeah, it is.
We have them. It is a box that holds this. It fits it. Just it's a bit longer.
And
more
we'll
narrow.
show how to do that box in another one. Or are you going to do it right now?
Well, let's see. I think, here we go.
Okay.
Here's one of the boxes. And it is pre-scored, so you just start doing valley folds. If this is, face up. Valley folds on all the tabs. On this side as well, this side, on that tab, just lots of valley folds.
And the reason why I want to have us show this is that there were a couple of questions by a couple of people on another webisode, so I just want to make it easy.
So once they're all valley folded, I would start by folding up the back piece, and there are these 2 little tabs here, and gluing them or taping them to the inside of that panel, and then this folds over like so.
Same thing on the other side.
Yeah,
so the
just
little tabs in.
Glue those little tabs in place here and here. And then on the front, we have the same little tabs here.
Glue those in.
Glue those in place. Then when that basket sits in there, well, you've got one.
I haven't finished one.
When the basket sits in there, these get folded over for, and those little tabs are glued in place. And then this just closes up. Like so.
Right.
You just close that box up.
And I think one other thing you could do if you wanted to is actually have these fold all the way over.
They could.
And glue them down. That way it's just going to make this a little sturdier for going
I like
through,
that idea. It's a good
through
idea.
the post. So, and then it just fits in nicely.
Perfect.
Okay, how about a notelet?
Okay.
This is a notelet, folks.
A notelet box.
And yes, and a nice size. And this is where the Velcro comes in, right there to hold it closed. And as we open it up, here are each of those little pre-scored artwork little notes.
Right.
And then just the foiled piece on top.
So how easy is that? You just pop on, they're not even foam tape, they're just stuck on there, and then you open them up, they're blank little cards, and it's just a nice gift for someone.
It very much is. And you can see.
Hey, you could do this for yourself, and then you have notes that you're ready to send in the mail to somebody.
And one thing is, I think I'd almost be tempted just to use the notes the way they are and save these for something else. But that's me.
You could do that too. You can make lots more cards. I've got the
You got it? Great.
major and basic pieces of the box. The notes are pretty self-explanatory, but these are the major pieces. You pop these both out. This is the outside of the box here. And it's great that it's double-sided, so all the little butterflies are on the inside.
Sweet.
So if you turn this rather large piece over, first you can see all the scores. When you see these score lines, every single one of them is going to get valley folded in, like so.
Same way.
Valley folded. Okay, so that's pretty well ready to go. If you turn it over, I'm going to turn it over this way. I'm going to keep this at the top because that's the top of the box. If you turn it over, down here at the bottom, there are these 2 little angular tabs, And that's where I put the ultra tape. And I put it close to the seam because that's the most important spot. You can go ahead and add more if you like, and makes it more stable.
So it's right next to that fold.
Right next to that score, yeah. I said the seam, but it's a score, right? That's the fold. So I'm going to take the ultra tape off of those 2 tabs. And I'm going to turn this over. This is the top up here. It's got that nice decorative edge. That's the top. Now I'm going to fold these in a little bit, fold them up. So this is the bottom of your box, and then one at a time I'm going to fold up the side panels and evenly have the edges even right down here at the bottom and just stick them on. So now you've got this little sort of a skeleton box sitting there. That's the first part of your box. That's the back. This is the top. So you want the front part of your box, and that is this piece. And this is actually the bottom, and these are the sides. And I put the ultra tape on these. I put them on the inside. So I'm going to go ahead and take that off. For this one, I felt it was more important to put the tape out at the edges because they are going to be on the outside of your box, and you don't want the edges kind of popping up. So I've got the tape out on the edges, and then you just start lining it up. You can just sit this on top of your box and make I would do the bottom panel first because it lines up nicely, and just push that in place down on the bottom, and then on the sides, one side at a time. Now, you can put this on the inside. You know, you can glue it on the inside because I know you might be seeing this seam here, but this gets covered up. So I think it's so much easier to do it on the outside. And what it gets covered up with is all of the little die-cut pop-out pieces. See, that's the way this one is done. And all you really see are those die-cut pieces that have just been there, perfectly suited for here, 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 on the top.
And the top.
And here, right.
Right, and you've got that front panel, same thing.
Put the little Velcro. I put the little Velcro first here. Figure out where you want it to attach, and put it on that side as well.
Okay. Easy. Another easy.
Yeah.
Nicely done. Again, good construction. I'm glad you said that about putting those flaps on the outside because I thought that doesn't look very tidy. But you're right. This just
it gets covered up. You don't even really see it.
You might as well make it just as easy as possible. Beautifully done. Okay, how about our easel card? Well, here's what this looks like. It's a sweet little shape. And you can see on the front that we have some of the paper towel look where we've foam taped it, some butterflies, and then as I lift that up, it's going to rest right there.
Right. It can rest there. It can rest all the way back. I kind of like that floral, lace edging on there.
I agree with you. I like seeing that. So all in one piece. Very, very, very sweet.
I wanted to mention, so this piece that you're looking at on the bottom is a die cut that you pop out, and you just pop it on there. You can very easily turn it around and have the lace on this side. You don't necessarily have to match the edge of that card. I think that's a really cute look too. I really like the pop out lacing there.
Very pretty.
But I have the basic shape of here is that base, the base of the card, and it is not double-sided, so you don't want it folded over, and you don't want to see that. So the first thing you do on those already scored for you lines is fold over this way, get that nice, and you can use a bone folder for that, and then fold the top back. So once you have that, you pop out the front of your card, which you can pre-decorate and then pop on here, either way, and then you just tape this part. Put double-sided tape there or glue, and then just glue or tape only to the top. So you're only going to glue to that part, and then there you go. You have that piece. You
turn it on its side.
You have that piece that sits just like an easel. And so then you place or foam tape your little die cuts down here, and it has something to stand up on.
Right, so just like that. Again, you have 4 of them, and there are little cards to mail them. Now, they're not terribly,
boxes,
not terribly thick, but there's a little bit there. So it's just a nice added, I think you could put them in an envelope, but nice of Hunkydory to provide those.
The mailing boxes, that's really cute.
Now, let's go into some other, in addition to all of those specialty cards.
You've got these card toppers.
Yes, and the adorable scorables. So why not put them together? Here's a gatefold card, and we've used the adorable scorable and have measured on each side and just scored it and fold them in like so.
To get that gatefold card. I love
Right.
that. And then you put the card toppers just on one side. This, I'm noticing, this is one big, well, it's more than one. It's a big card topper, but it's actually 1, 2, 3 separate pieces, which usually I tend to pop them out and start doing things. But Susan just left this flat, which is a very nice look, and then she popped on the paper towel pieces.
And added those with foam tape. And on the inside, now this is one of the spinner pieces.
It is one of the spinner pieces. You could use more card toppers to decorate the inside. This is just another way to use one of those spinner pieces.
And this is a little piece of the same adorable scorball that was just snipped off and placed horizontally.
Right, and some border jewel dazzles right along the top and the bottom.
Of course, because why not?
And
there
on the
we
edge,
go.
it's interesting. It's on this edge. It wasn't needed over here because the artwork is over here.
That's nice, but it does so match the foiling. Just a beautiful job. And then, like you said, in the inside. Okay.
That's a neat idea.
You want to see another idea?
Let's see another one.
Here is a shutter card. And this is using the new die-cut cards.
Isn't that's a great use for it, right?
And look at this. This is, again, the adorable scorball that's been cut to fit the panels.
Right.
And
using the pattern that comes with the shutter die-cut cards.
And we saw this a few weeks ago, so using this.
Right. On the back of this piece of paper that comes in here, on the back of there are paper patterns for each of the panels on here.
Right.
So each of these panels, this one, and this one, I think, and these two, they were all cut using that paper pattern, so that gives you all the dimensions that you need.
But how neat to use the Hunkydory die cuts and the adorable scorball to create this card. And this is the glitter one that works so well.
This is the actual card topper that Susan set up. She actually matted this center one. She matted it on white cardstock. She was having a little bit of difficulty getting the thin line dazzles to stick on that glitter, so she just cut another shape out just a little bit bigger than this, and then she placed them on there. Works great.
She used the brown thin line borders dazzles. They're 63 in the package.
It's just perfect. I love the little strips of cardstock here. That I think that might have been one of the die cut borders that was popped out and placed along the bottom.
And so that brown that you're seeing are the thin line dazzles, both here, here, and right there.
Really neat look.
And you get the greeting. So nice to have that on the left side, kind of different. We've got a little more of the thin line up above. And again, on the inside, this is just framing all of the separate areas. Cute to have that tag on the smaller piece.
Right.
Nothing on this one, because it really gets covered up all the time.
Right. This is a really large piece that really covers up the front of the card. And something that you have to pay attention to is covering up what's behind if you don't want something to be seen on one of these die-cut cards.
So that's a shutter card. Now, look at this. This is a center step.
Isn't that beautiful?
So it too is using the die-cut cards. And yes, folks, you will be seeing things using those die-cut cards because, like Hunkydory, it just makes our card making so much easier.
The paper patterns were not used with this one. It wasn't necessary for what Susan was doing with this one. She's got that great card toppers, which she matted on some white cardstock to give a little edge to it.
And then she foam taped this border, glued the message. I like how it's popping out.
Right.
And then you can see how all of those pieces were foam tape on top. Again, as we've said, the paper towel style.
So you've got that really sparkly glitter on there. And Susan wanted to sort of match that. She felt like the sides of the card here needed to match that. So I can show you how she did that.
Bring
because
that in.
Yeah, that's the actual die cut card you're looking at here and here going around the edges. And so I have one here that I've done a couple of things too, but the first thing I did was inked it, which is what Susan did. If you lay this out flat, you see the side pieces, you see this piece, and she inked that with Plumeria fluid chalk ink. So here's the fluid chalk ink, and she used one of our new mini ink blending tools. These work great. I love these. They're just the right shape for your fingers, and it's got a nice removable and replaceable.
And it's not square.
Right, right. So it's got these nice round edges. So she just went around the edges, and she didn't have to do the center because that's going to be covered up with a card topper, as you remember. So just get around on the edges with that. And then what you see over here, she not needing the paper patterns, she measured this. This is 1 inch by 4 inches. And
let me talk about that for a second. This is double-sided adhesive. It is not the Ultra Tape because that's a bit too adhesive. This is a double-sided adhesive that we get from Holland, actually. And it has the yellow paper. It's grid on one side and plain on the other. Yeah, and I think there's 4 sheets in here, and so they're quite, they go a long way.
And I have one that's placed on here already, but just to show you. So she had a piece here that she cut 1 inch by 4 inches, because that is the side, once you put together, the size of just that area, and that's the only area that she wanted to put glitter on. So this one already has it on here, and I'll just show you. Since it's got a covering on the front and on the back, you start by taking off one covering. So that's the sticky side there. And then you just align it with that piece there that is 1 inch by 4 inches.
And you can remember the 1 inch by 4 inches, or in that set of center step cards, there are patterns on the back of the insert in there.
The patterns, however, are a little bit smaller so that you have a matted edge. She didn't want a matted edge. So she actually measured it, and it was 1 inch by 4 inch. So that's what she happened to use. So I'm going to go ahead and work on this side. I've got a craft sheet here. So that's how she placed the adhesive on there, and then she removed the top part. So when you do that, now you've got this is sticky. That's the sticky, and it's only that part.
Just the right amount of stickiness.
Right, and then she used micro glitter, which is so easy to use.
Which we love.
We do love it, and we use it on a lot of things. And you just put a little bit. You just need. I'm going to sprinkle it all over so I can hurry it along, but you don't need very much. And then you take your fingers and you just start burnishing it. You go around, and I think the magic number we decided was 3.
It is. So you're going to burnish that, then you're going to tap it off. And what you're doing is really getting that micro glitter into the adhesive.
Right.
And so you just want to do that about 3 times.
I don't put it back on. I tap it off, and then I burnish again. And you do it 3 times is how many times you have to do it until the glitter starts shaking off. But you can see it already, what it looks like.
Isn't that nice?
It just makes a nice little backdrop. You can do it on that side too, and you'll get the effect that we saw.
So bringing it back in, hey, that's a good technique to remember. You want to write that down. And so you can see what it does. And of course, we've added dazzles because that's how we are.
And ribbon. And
a little bit of ribbon.
Nice
just
flower
gorgeous.
garden.
On the inside.
There's more.
Yeah, there's more. There's another of the card toppers. And
it was matted on an inked cardstock. So you just ink your cardstock in that same way.
Beautiful.
And lots of sentiments. Enjoy your day, especially for you. Lots of different ways to personalize it.
And this too will stand up just like so.
Sure.
So that works nicely. Looks better if you're looking at it.
One of the new beautiful die-cut cards. I love those.
Scrapbookers, I promised you something. I have not forgotten you. Look at this scrapbook page.
That is just beautiful.
Isn't that gorgeous?
This is done on the Gypsy Jewels paper pack.
Yes,
so that's what you're seeing in the background. And here's that large, beautiful flower focal, and the petals of that have been foam taped and set at off angles to just make this beautiful stacked flower.
It is stunning, absolutely stunning. Now, this is, as we back up a little bit, just want you to see that there is a piece of the adorable Scorable. This is the foiled.
And that's the full piece.
Right.
And it's been matted on, is that navy or iris?
It is
iris suede. So just you get that really rich look.
It gives a nice little contrast.
On the page that has the die cuts for the flowers, it also has this long sort of a curvy stem, and I see that back there behind this piece. And some of these other from some of the other card toppers, the die cut pieces are placed there.
And we saw those silver ovals that you had that you could use, although in these cases,
like that, you could use that. But yeah, Susan decided to use the actual spinner pieces for a nice frame. They're beautiful frames.
It's just gorgeous. And one of the die cut pieces and another frame, even she's got room for journaling and some additional little pieces. So just want you to know that even though Hunkydory and we sew mostly cards, but they will make wonderful scrapbook pages.
We always seem to be able to get, we always try to make scrapbook pages with the kits, and it's really simple. It's just nice to add some really personalized touches to your scrapbook pages.
So the Floral Fantasia has lots of designs, lots of interesting things.
Lattice baskets, spinner cards, easels, a notelet box. That's a big, huge gift in itself.
And scrapbook pages.
And scrapbook pages.
Please join us tomorrow for more Hunkydory.
See you then.